Do you want to feel like John Wick, but don't want to sacrifice your family pet or have your car stolen? Do you want to take enemies down with so much style that even a pencil can become a deadly weapon? Well, with the release of John Wick 4, that's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to be counting down the top 5 VR games that make you feel like John Wick, with number 1 being the ultimate John Wick experience. Let's go. So at number 5 then is Pavlov Shark. Now everybody has played Pavlov at some point, but when it comes to John Wick style gameplay, it's Pavlov's slick movement combined with a very smooth pistol play that gives you a very fun yet semi-realistic John Wick experience. The choice of pistols here are plentiful and they feel as if they have weight behind them, and there is nothing quite like leaning around a corner pistol equipped and popping somebody in the head and trying to perfect it like Baba Yaga himself. The main issue with trying to be like John Wick in this game is you pretty much only have a combat knife to use, and when you do manage to take out an enemy using it, they just fall to the floor, basically making any type of hand-to-hand combat pretty much non-existent. At number 4 then we have Pistol Whip. Now John Wick and Pistol Whip are a great combination because the game was tailored towards the fans of John Wick style action movies by taking the epic music you would hear in a John Wick action set and turning it into an on-rails first-person shooting rhythm game. Not only do you have loads of guns to choose from, but you can customize them however you like and dual wield them till your heart's content. They even added a melee only mode which allows you to take on your enemies with an array of different weapons, including a pencil. That's right, a literal pencil. Now all of this coupled with the EDM style music gives you a heightened sense of epicness as you dodge, shoot and melee your way through the level. Next up is Blood Trail. Now this game you wouldn't find on many lists out there. Blood Trail, which is still being developed, is not only one of the most violent VR games there is, but it's also very close to a John Wick experience. Now this is a PC only game, but the premise is very John Wick itself as it puts you in the shoes of an assassin and you must take out enemies depending on what mode you choose. The main things that make this a John Wick experience is the fact that the enemies will full on try to shoot you or stab you without giving you much of a break. There aren't a huge amount of weapons, but wielding feels absolutely epic. The great part about this is you can shoot them in different body parts and they will react accordingly. You could shoot an enemy in the leg to make them fall over to give yourself a chance to reload, or you could go into slow motion and take out a few enemies in one fell swoop. You have a few melee weapons to choose from and you can incapacitate your enemies by hitting them anywhere you like. Also melee combat is pretty decent as you can punch and grab your enemies, and if you wanted you can even use bad guys as human shields. This is an incredible John Wick experience that's only let down by the fact that it's still an incomplete game. Next up is Boneworks and Bone Lab. Now Boneworks and Bone Lab are physics-based combat games that offer a lot in terms of the John Wick experience. They have a huge variety of melee weapons from hammers to katanas all the way up to throwing weapons like kunai, all of which can be mixed with a large selection of guns to create a deadly yet stylish combination. Add in some sexy slow motion and the ability to jump, crouch and damage your enemies in specific body parts and you have yourself a truly John Wick experience. Now the only way I find these games kind of lack in relation to the John Wick experience is the fact that there is a very limited amount of enemies you can use. There are only 1 or 2 enemies that use machine guns and the rest are just mindless zombies that just kind of flop towards you and try to grab you, so you aren't ever really in a proper gunfight, which is a shame considering everything else is about perfect. Now the game has mod support which can add a John Wick skin to the game, and for Boneworks and Bone Lab there has been pencil mods made so you can kill those men in a bar with ease. And number 1 on our list is Blade and Sorcery and Blade and Sorcery Nomad. Now you would have to have been living under a rock to not know what Blade and Sorcery is. The Blade and Sorcery, which is the PC version, and Blade and Sorcery Nomad, which is the Quest version, is a medieval slasher that's not much different from the previously mentioned Boneworks and Bone Lab. Both games are physics based, both have a wide selection of melee weapons, and both contain mod support which adds all different kinds of guns to the game. Honestly, they would be almost the same game and be evenly placed at number 1 if not for a huge difference in AI. Blade and Sorcery's AI has different kinds of enemies come at you armed with all different kinds of melee weapons, and they will attack you in as many different ways as possible, and like Boneworks and Bone Lab, this game is the perfect blend of everything to make the ultimate John Wick experience. Anyway, thanks for watching and I'll see you soon. Peace.